At the U.S. Supreme Court today, a ruling about drunken driving that could impact thousands of Minnesotans.
I would estimate that there are about 10,000 cases that are waiting for this ruling.
The ruling upheld portions of Minnesota law while striking down others. Before this ruling, police did not have to get a search warrant in Minnesota if a driver refused a breath, blood, or urine test when suspected of driving drunk. In today's ruling, the Supreme Court said getting a blood alcohol test was intrusive and therefore law enforcement needs to get a warrant. But they ruled officers don't have to get one for a breath test.
We're glad that the court recognizes that it's about public safety.
Art Morrow, the state director for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, was relieved to hear the news.
You know, over 2,000 Minnesotan families are impacted every year with injuries or deaths, and I know about that personally, having lost a sister to drunk driving.
The Supreme Court essentially said that the Fourth Amendment protects potheads and junkies, but social drinkers aren't covered.
Twin Cities attorney Chuck Ramsay was one of a handful of attorneys who petitioned the Supreme Court. The decision has been years in the making after an Eagan man took his case to the High Court, challenging his arrest when he refused a breathalyzer in 2012. Drivers in North Dakota also challenged the law.
I don't want drunks driving on the roadway, exposing my family to these dangers, but we still have to follow the Constitution.
But the majority of the justices disagreed, comparing a breathalyzer test as intrusive as taking a sip of a drink from a straw. Now, the Supreme Court did not rule on the issue of urine tests, punting that back to the states. The Minnesota Supreme Court is expected to rule on that in the next few months. By the way, the Supreme Court's ruling today is effective immediately. Julie.
Okay, so you can still be breathalyzed, but if you refuse that breathalyzer, then they can't legally draw blood without a search warrant, right?
Yep.
Did I get that right?
Yep.
All right, thank you, Jay.